So we went into Photoshop and we created a layer with just was alone and then the background. I'm going to save this file as was in bucket, Photoshop in my folder with layers. Going to go back to InDesign, and if I know I'm going to want to bring this in, I can say I'm going to place, I know I want it here. So I'm going to place a frame for it, Command D, and then grab the PSD. And if you're going to try and pick and choose layers, what you want to do is show import options. Open. And what it'll do is say, do you want me to pick a color? Do you want me to pick a layer, right? You're going to go to this layer. So I don't want the background layer. I want just was alone. And I want, just like that, I want that to fit. I'm going to make this a little bigger for demo reasons. Okay, so now when you're wrapping text, I'm going to also go into layout, columns, and margins. And you can change this per page, which is nice. It doesn't necessarily have to be per document. And that's under layout. So I'm going to make this page 2 columns. I'm leaving my margins alone, my gutter alone. Good to go. So if I grab my type and I place it, type, fill with placeholder text, it's going to go over his face. But that's not what I want. So by grabbing the image, right, and you'll see that blue graphic, go to Window, Text Wrap, or it might be over on the side, Text Wrap. What you're going to do is grab the second one. Wrap around bounding box. Now, it's not on his face anymore, but it's also like really boxy. If you hit W, right, it doesn't look natural. So what you can do is you can ask to wrap it. We need to get a contour type. There we go. By hitting the third option, you can wrap around the object shape. So I'm going to say detect edges. And that will go in. Now, also, it might show some problems with my mask, which is showing right here. So that's me. That's my bad, right? But you can see how it wrapped around. If you need to edit an image, you can right-click on the image and edit original and go right back into Photoshop and edit that original. So I know there is something over here that is confusing that wrap. So I'm going to get the eraser and just get up in this layer. Or you can make a layer mask, whatever, again, tool works good for you. This is just for demo's sake. I know that there's a problem there and know that there's a problem there. And it could be because of the soft feather that I have on this shape that it's picking up some of that. I went into Photoshop, Command W, save, go back here, and it updated. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? So I know that I don't want this little business right there. So I can also go to try some different, I don't want the graphic frame. Detect edges is giving me this little weirdness right in there. Bounding box. The other thing you could do if detect edges is giving you grief is you could create an alpha channel. Ah, there you go. And now it is seeing the border quicker. So we are going to, yep, it's using the transparency. We're going to give it a little cushion because it's going very close to his face. So using this button, you notice, watch the little blue line around his head like a halo. That's doing it is giving a little more space to breathe. And you've got to remember a couple of things when you're designing is how we read. So there's readability and there's legibility, right? There's just 2 concepts that we'll talk about. But that now makes it easy to read and maintains the space that the figure's in. So we've got, it's not going into Walter, but it is readable. If we grab another text box and we put it over here, let's see, bring it down. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Let's bring it down over here. We go to type, fill a placeholder type. It's going to automatically do that because I have applied that to the image. So you apply the text wrap option to the image, not to the block of type. All right, so if you hit W, that's a beautiful way to handle that image. Okay, so in the next video, we will talk about how to import something from Illustrator. If you were going to export this, say, and turn this into me, you would go File, Export, Command E, and you're going to export it as a PDF print. We will get to some interactive work where our final project where we have our emails, our websites, our Tumblrs, and all of these things will be active links. And in that case, we will use interactive. But for now, print is fine. Hit Save. And then you're going to get just so many options. I always just pick high quality print. Perfect. You don't have to mess with anything else in here for now. Hit Export. And it's telling me I have overset text because I'm using placeholder text and I adjusted it. In this case, I don't have to worry about it, but if it was a problem that I didn't know about, I would go back in and fix it. So I'm going to hit OK, and then it will export it. Let me show you where the overset text is. That's what this red plus means, and that's what this red plus means. And if this was a document like a magazine and you saw that, you would need to address it. In this case, it's just placeholder text. And then in your folder will be, where did I save it to? Let's see, File, Export, Exercise 10, save, replace, export, okay. Am I looking right at it? Oh, I'm looking at that. There we go. Open it up. You have your one page and then your second. So you do not need to convert text to outlines in this case, but if you're sending something to print, what I always do is I save a copy of this and I will send them a version with the type converted to outlines. In that case, you just select the type, the columns, and go to Type, Create Outlines. And then it is not editable any longer, but when the printer gets it, if he gets it as an InDesign file, say, and he doesn't have this font, this is now all converted so that it will print the way that you wanted it to look. Okay? And this page is still what editable type looks like, so you can see the difference between editable type that has not been converted to outlines and outlines. All right, kids, keep going.